Every year, in the build-up to Notting Hill Carnival, something powerful is in motion. Something that speaks of rhythm, history, and heritage. This is Panorama. It's not just a musical competition, it's a celebration of Caribbean identity. A tribute to resilience, a stage where culture echoes through steel and rhythm, and where generations come together under one sky to create soundscapes that move the soul. Born in Trinidad and Tobago, steel pan music rose from struggle, crafted from oil drums and forged in the fires of rebellion and resistance. Today it sings across the world, but here in London, Panorama remains one of its most vibrant showcases. In this documentary, we go behind the scenes with one of the UK's leading steel orchestras, Pan Nation. From long practice nights to broken sticks and breakthrough moments, this is their journey. This is the effort, the energy, the love that goes into creating magic, note by note, beat by beat. Welcome to the road to Panorama. This is Pan Nation.
My name is Chris Story. I'm the manager and arranger and founder of Pan Nation Steel Orchestra. I'm a local Tottenham boy. I went to Seven Sisters Primary School and they had a steel band there and they had auditions going when I was in year 3. I'd always heard the steel band from when I was younger, when I was in nursery, because the nursery was downstairs below the junior school. So every week I could hear this sound coming and I never knew what it was until the steel band came and performed to the younger school. And then I got the opportunity to audition when I got into the juniors by the steel band tutor at the time was a guy called Clyde Dias, who sadly passed away about 5-6 years ago now.
Okay.
And yeah, he took me under his wing and I auditioned. He said I was good, and yeah, just that's how I started playing pan. What does Panorama mean to me? It's the only kind of opportunity that we get as steel band arrangers to show the world where we are musically and to show what the music that is coming in from within us. We can do renditions of little songs like, you know, popular tunes that people recognize, right. But to do a 10-minute panorama arrangement, we get to really sink our teeth into these songs and develop them, reharmonize them, add jam sections, add our own little flares and our own little spices to these kind of songs. And it's the only time we really get a chance to do a big arrangement like this and for a lot of people to see and witness as well.
Hi Ed, my name's Dan Sadler. I got into pan when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
My music teacher could see something in me that I didn't know, and she demanded that I went down to the steel band room and learned a couple of tunes with my mates.
Wow.
So I was around about year 9 at the time. I wasn't really interested in getting into anything, but I did go down there, and in that one session I learned 2 songs and I never looked back. I've played pan ever since. Okay, Panorama's a big deal, actually. Panorama, I was introduced to Panorama back in 1999, and I played my first Panorama with the London All-Stars Steel Band, and I had such a great experience that over the years there's not been a Panorama that I've missed, and I think I'm around about 25 years-ish now of going Panorama. So for me, it's a huge deal. Every year we get together and it's battle of the bands. It's who could be the best band. Now, this is something that we're here with Pan Nation. I've played with many bands in this competition over the years, and the one thing that I love about it is that we're all friends all year round, the whole community. We're all really good mates, but on that one day it's like gloves off, you're in that band and we're in this band, and everybody wants to go away with that title.
Right.
But as a new band, Pan Nation, we're looking to go and take it. We're looking to go and get our first win. Learning a 10-minute piece from memory, okay. Personally, I don't really have a problem with it. I've been learning 10-minute pieces since I was, say, 15 years old, 16. We learned some pretty hefty songs when I was in secondary school. So I don't find it that difficult because it's the way that I've been taught from the beginning. I've always learned from head to head. They call that learning by rote in music, and that's the way I've always learned. Over the years, I've been forced to learn to read music and do it the other way around. I can see it could be challenging for many people because a lot of musicians, their whole life, they're being told to read the paper, read the music, and play what you see. However, in the steel band world, we don't really have that. So anybody that comes in from the traditional music world may struggle to memorize a piece. But us pan players, it's what we do.
Can you tell us your name?
So my name is Ziggy Greer. Yeah, gone. Panorama means to me, it's a chance for us to do, because we play pan all year round. So it gives us a chance to it adds a competitive aspect to it. It's a competition, and it helps you just push yourself. So outside of the fundraisers and the normal performances that we do, it just gives it a competitive edge that you don't normally get.
Right.
So yeah, it's competition to me. So when you're younger, it's not as harder when you're older.
Okay, right.
That's the big difference. When we were school kids and we did Panorama, it was a lot easier to retain 10 minutes worth of music. But I feel when you enjoy the music, it's a lot easier to remember it and kind of store them parts in your mind. And when you like the song, one of the things that we do is we have recordings. So every night we're listening to the recordings, just in your headphones as you're listening to your normal songs, listen to your part, and then that helps to kind of just get the memory aspect of it. And playing the same thing for 4 or 5 weeks, you can't remember it after 4 or 5 weeks. Then. But even though it seems like a lot for a 10-minute piece, it's not really, because when we do something like Panorama or our Christmas show, we'll play, an hour set of different songs. So it's just really how you look at it.
Yeah.
My name's Kiefer. I got into pan when I was around 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
A group came by to my school, Heart of Steel, and my mum dragged me to play with them. And at first I was like, I don't want to play with them, but I fell in love with it. I love it. Best thing I ever did. It's getting back into myself because I haven't played Panorama since I was 15 or 16. I'm 24 now.
Okay.
So it's been nearly 10 years. So I'm getting back into my culture, my roots. It's a breath of fresh air. Community. That's what it is, and I've been longing for community, and I'm getting that by playing in Panorama. The pressure, you know what? There's not too much pressure. There's the amount of rehearsals that we're doing, the amount of support that we get. I'm playing with people who don't know what I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And then I can always get support whenever I ask for it. So the pressure, it's not really there. I'm enjoying every second of it, honestly. I'm not really feeling pressured. I'm enjoying it too much to feel pressured.
My name's Malaika, and I am playing full pan this year for Panorama. And yeah, I usually play guitars stateside with Pan Nation, but I am playing full pan for Panorama. I have basically been involved in steel pan from the womb. From as long as I can remember, I used to go with my dad everywhere, so whether that was busking, I have links to like Real Steel, Rainbow Steel Band. One of my dad's closest friends is Tucson, so I've basically just grown up around pan like my whole life. Oh, it means a lot. It means a big thing. Same thing with my dad, he passed about 3 years ago. So when I come to practice for Panorama, it's almost like I feel him. And my godfather, El Rodney, he passed away 2 years ago, and it's the same thing. So Panorama is like a very sentimental thing for me. It's something that I used to go to religiously every year as a child. It's something that I really enjoyed doing and wanted to be involved in. I did my first Panorama when I was 8. With London All Stars, and even though we came last, it was a great experience, and basically ever since then I've just been in love. Oh yeah, it's intense. I got ADHD, so I have to actually rely on my muscle memory in order to remember the songs. I don't actually know where the notes are on the pan, so when people are shouting notes out to me, I'm like, ooh, where do I go, sort of thing. So I totally depend on my muscle memory. But yeah, it can get really intense, especially like mid-practice. Chris might come over and just throw some notes at us, and we sort of got to catch it. But because we're doing it every single day, over 5 weeks, over time it just, like I said, it like kind of stores in my muscle memory, so I end up getting it. It's all good. But yeah, 100% intense.
My name is Taya. So Chris taught at my secondary school. I didn't join in year 7 because there was rumours going around the school that Chris was really scary. So I was a bit too scared, but I joined in year 8 and we've been playing ever since. chaos, stress, but it's really, what's the word, cathartic? So most people will be like, oh, carnival, yay, we look forward to that every year. Pan players, we look forward to Panorama, because it's like, you get to see everyone. And not just in our band, all the other bands. It's like a seasonal, massive family link up, basically. It's really hard. It's really hard. And actually, I've been out of the swing of it for like 3 years. And I feel the pressure even more now, trying to get back into the swing of like catchy music, especially when you've got a job and you've got things to do. It feels like actually really, really hard. But the joy is there's loads of support with the band, so it makes it easier.
My name is Nathaniel. I play quad, so I'm the quad section leader for this band. And I've been playing Pan for around 7 years. Panorama means to me like it's a competition where I don't take this lightly. Like I actually just like want to win. I generally just want to have the feeling of winning with my band, and it's a thing where it's like just to show all the other bands that Pan Nation isn't one to mess with. It's a thing like we need to prove to the other band and ourselves that we are that type of band that people shouldn't take too lightly because we started playing Panorama 2019 and we're still a new band. We came 4th 2019, 3rd 2022 and 3rd 2023, and that's a great result. But this year we're coming for 1st. Obviously you need to know the structure of the song and what's like in that structure. You need to know what you're actually playing during that and like the connections between them. So like the kind of connection from the beginning to the verse, from the verse to the chorus. You need to know all of that. And obviously if you're a busy person, you may struggle because you have a lot on your mind. But I haven't been struggling as much since I'm a free person, so a lot of the time I'm just playing that tune repeatedly in my head, like constantly listening to it, so I never forget what comes next. And while listening to it, I'll start to like kind of play the pan I'm playing while listening, so I don't forget what part I'm playing during that segment of the piece.
Hi, my name is Yugi, and I play tenor bass in Pan Nation. Weirdly enough, I just wanted to do something for myself about 20 years ago, and I saw a little advert in a random newspaper saying free steel pan lessons, and I rang them up and it happened to be Ebony, and I was like, I kind of want to get involved with that, but nothing really kind of stirred. And maybe about a month later, I just happened to meet Chris. So, you know, Pan was on my radar, and then Chris got sent to me, and it was just a kind of, well, why go to West London when you can come to North London? And I just went to Tottenham, and back in that day it was Pantasia, so it was like the original foundation of where this kind of came from, and it was the first time I heard Steel Pan, and I just remember hearing it across the car park, and it kind of like hooking me like a church calling, like a kind of epiphany of like, oh my god, what's that noise, that sound? And there were only like some epic players who've gone on to many amazing things, but there were only about 4 or 5 of them in a little room practicing, and I was just hooked, not just to the music, and I hadn't even begun learning anything by then, but it was an amazing journey into the world of Pan Nation as it is now. So yeah, Panorama to me is a very personal, deep affair. Literally, you give up your life to dedicate as much as you can to a performance, not just for yourself, but for a band and for the arranger, and it's just it's kind of a privilege to be able to do that. Not everyone can focus on learning a piece for 8-10 minutes long, and not everyone has the capability of being able to get through as well. I've had that history of, you know, not making it, so it kind of got, you know, quite personal to me, going, oh, I've got that kind of history going on, but I've also made my own history going to Trinidad a couple of times and playing in Panbury and in Tobago with Steel Explosion, and those were my, you know, my moments of going, you know what, Pan is something beyond Pan Nation, but what I can bring with my other knowledge from somewhere else, even the little bits, and I'm still learning, I'm definitely learning, but it's bringing what we can all experience into Pan Nation and to help better it. And I feel like part of my duty is to try and, you know, not just improve myself, but improve what's going on around me. So Pan Nation is on an amazing journey, growing. It's only about 14, 15 years old now, and it's old but not old, it's very young still, and where it's going is into an amazing direction. So fingers crossed what happens this year at Panorama. Yeah, so I'm not as young as other players, or my memory is not as good as other players, but you've got to be really committed and really put in the work, because I struggle a lot with the phrasing, with what's coming next, with, you know, whatever is going on in the timings of the song. But because I know I struggle more, it means I have to put in a bit more work than the average Joe. That's all it is. So, you know, I make sure I have to do my homework, because it is not just about playing Pan. I have to keep listening to that tune. I have to keep drilling in my head. I have to keep playing it over. You become addicted to Pan because you have to keep listening to the same thing over and over and over and over again. So yeah, drilling, being here as much as possible to make yourself have the best opportunity to get as much into your muscle memory as possible. And, you know, then when you've got it in there somewhere, you can kind of breathe, hopefully, and relax and start to enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, it's a really tough journey, yeah.
Hi, my name is Martin, and I'm 11 years old, and I play for Pan Nation. Since Chris is my uncle, that runs in the family heritage, so I've just got it from there, and that's how it started. It means a lot because it can show all of my talent, and being the youngest person in the band shows that anyone at any age can play in front of a big audience. It's pressured because, like, you get told if you mess up, you might mess up the background, but when you actually start it gets better, and it's fine when you start the piece on the stage.
My name's Tora. I got into Pan because my mum, she grew up in Trinidad, she grew up in San Fernando, and she grew up playing steel pan. And then when we moved to Tottenham when I was 9, she found, oh no, a lot later to be fair, but she found Pan Nation because she was having a look, she wanted to get back into it. And then she played for a long time, and I always wanted to do it, but I went to uni, I wasn't living here, and then finally they had a place for me. And I was sad because I wanted to play the tenor, because I thought that was I thought that's what she played. And then I was here, I was the only guitar at the beginning until Kay came, and I fell in love with it. I've always grown up around music and I have quite a good ear, but playing steel pan has just been it's been really nice, like connecting with everyone playing and connecting with Trinidad through that as well. It's been really nice. Panorama is exciting because it's our first time playing with the main band. I only started playing steel pan for the first time in my life a couple months ago. So it's so nice to be able to be playing with all the young people that are playing for the main band and part of Panorama. I also live 5 minutes away, so I'm having the best time coming to practice every day, and just like spending 6 hours a day is a lot, but it's really I feel like it's stimulating me in all the right ways, and I think it's so nice to be able to have said that we've practiced so much and be so ready for Panorama when we get there. And Carnival was the best weekend, so it's so nice to have that as an introduction to Carnival. Initially I felt a lot of pressure, but then I realised like we have so much time, and I haven't really been here, and now that we're here on day 5 of the first week, I feel like I've got it down. And with 4 weeks to practice, I don't think there's that much pressure. I think there's pressure to do well for Chris and do well for the band, but I think with the practice that everyone's doing, I don't find it pressureful. I don't find that there's pressure. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kay Fian, or just Kay for short. I played steel pans when I was a lot younger. I was playing in secondary school, and I sort of fell in love with it, to be honest. But I've taken a lot of time out, and then I started again this year in March, and here we are, Pan Nation. Panorama for me is a way to express myself musically. Like, I love music, I love performing, I really, really do. So it's just an opportunity to get my skills out there and come together as well within the community, because I no longer live in Tottenham. I've lived here all my life and I've finally moved, but I still feel deeply rooted here. So Panorama's given me that chance to come back into my community. I don't feel like it's the pressure of learning a 10-minute piece. I think it's more the pressure of coming together as a collective and sounding like one moving instrument, you know, one collective. That's probably where the pressure is, because you don't want to be the one who's slightly off, or you don't want to be the one who's hitting the wrong notes, or, you know, slightly behind everyone else. You want to come together and be just one cohesive piece. And this means a lot as well, because Pan Nation wasn't in the last Panorama. This is now a year out, so we got to come back strong.
Hey, my name is Jay Colors, and I play double seconds, front line. I started in a primary school that I used to go to, Coleraine Park, and my teacher is Dan Sadler. He taught me for about 4 years, and then I kind of took a long gap, just because going into different schools, I realized that steel pan was rare. So I started doing other things, started playing basketball, guitar, you know, other instruments. And then not too long ago, 2023, I came back and I wanted to really take pan seriously as a career, be a pan arranger. And not too long ago, I became a pan soloist, and, you know, just going out there in the world and playing pan, taking it seriously as a soloist has been the best thing ever. And I'm very grateful for what it has done for me in my life. Panorama, for me it means, you know, the pan community coming together and just basically just taking over, like, the UK. Just coming together and really showing everybody that pan isn't something that you just come in and you just, you know, bash, you know, but taking the time to actually listen, you know, you can vibe, you know, it may not be a piano, it may not be a guitar, but it means a lot, you know. So Panorama is amazing. I think ever since my first one back in 2023, it's just being around that and being able to be a part of that has been very special for me, you know. So yeah, it's big. 10-minute piece from memory. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people who don't play pan would think, yeah, that's hard, that's difficult, you know, especially because we're taught to play from memory, not from musical sheets or anything. So just learning from our memory, it is tough, you know, it's very tough. But if you gotta be committed, you gotta be determined, and just to reach that level to the point where you can do this without not looking at a musical sheet or anything. Yeah, it's tough, but it's the best thing ever once you get used to it over time.
Hi, my name is Nyala Thompson Grunwald. I've been playing pan for about 20 years. I was 6, can't remember, something so. When I started home, Trinidad. Because I was so little, I don't actually remember what got me into pan. But it was never, I think once I started, I don't think I have a question whether I was going to drop it or I was going to stop or I was going to keep it up or something. It was just pan is life and done. First Panorama is part of Carnival. If it's part of Carnival, it's part of what that story is. And that story was always about resistance. struggling against whatever colonial authorities, whatever oppression was happening at whatever time it was, and Pan is just a part of that story. So if Carnival came about 18th, 19th century, Pan came about in the 20th century, is a part of that history of struggle and resistance against what is trying to say to you, oh, you are not human, you are not worth anything, you cannot be free. And Pan was always about resisting that. Panorama is just a part of that, basically. This is the thing though, like Pan is a work from memory already. Like you never, or in my experience, when you're learning Pan, you're learning from memories, from what you're seeing, what you're hearing, the way your body moves when it reaches to touch that note as opposed to that note. So it's always, Pan practice is always about memory. So Panorama is just, okay, you're remembering something as opposed to it being like a 1 minute tune or a 2 minute tune or remembering a 10-minute tune and done kind of thing. So I don't know if it's a pressure so much as it is just another challenge in Pan musicianship to just have to just lock in, basically. You just lock in and you're playing whatever it is, and it helps as well because of the way Pan is set up and is within a band. You know, you're playing with a steel band, so you have your section kind of thing, so your memory doesn't just work by what you remember, it's working through what the person next to you playing, what the person next to you playing, what your section leader remember and whatever. So that it's kind of two different memories working, like your own, how do you remember things, but also your collective memory within a section, which is why Pan probably sounds so good and so sweet.
Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine. I started from secondary school, so I joined in 2009. I was in year 8, I think, and one day one of my friends said to me, oh, do you want to follow me somewhere? We actually skipped class because steel pan lessons used to go on at the same time as normal class lessons used to be, and I said to her, aren't we going to get in trouble? And she goes, no, it's fine, it's fine. And I was very shy, timid at the time, didn't want to talk to no one, didn't want to, I was kind of like the quiet girl at the back sort of thing. Anyway, I followed her, and she brought me to the music room, but it wasn't the normal music room, it was a different music room with all these different pans. And this lovely, tall, beautiful lady named Alicia Brown introduced herself to me, and she was the steel pan teacher at my school at the time. And I said to my friend, so this is where you've been disappearing every week? We literally just thought you were skipping lessons. She's like, no, I've been here. I remember Alicia saying to me, have I ever played an instrument before? Apart from violin and piano that I did a bit in my earlier years, I said, no, I've never done steel pan before. And I had keen interest straight away. I looked around the room, saw all the different pans, and I don't know what it was, but the double seconds stood out to me. And from 2009 up until now, the double seconds has been my pan. I have had chance to play bass, cello and tenor. I've got a tenor pan at home, but double seconds is what stood out to me, and that's what I fell in love with. It means a lot to me. Where I've been through so much, I recently lost my mum. She always supported my pan dream. From when I first did the Panorama in 2022, because I joined Pan Nation in 2021, doing Panorama in 2022, just seeing all of it put together and how it went from the weekly training to the everyday practices, I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with seeing these lovely people every day, having interactions with them outside of Pan as well as inside of Pan. The dedication, I really like the drilling part. The drilling's my favourite. Just the whole lead up until the competition. So that was my first Panorama. I also did it in 2023, and I'm excited again to do it in 2025. It just means everything. It's something that I can hold proudly to my heart. Just seeing everybody's hard work and Chris's hard work come to life, right at the end, and just it's very emotional. It's very emotional, especially in the competition. Once we've played the song, it's wow, all these months, and the song, it's just mind blowing. It's a mind blowing experience, and I would encourage anyone that's playing pan to also take part in the Panorama competition. The pressure. it can be a lot, especially where you have to fit in that time of practice into your day-to-day life. So with myself, I will come straight from work to Pan and also dedicate Sundays as well. Some Sundays, if I'm able to come down, I'll use that time to work on the Panorama tune. I remember when we first started doing it in around March, April time, I just come out of an eye operation and I literally was learning the first piece of the song with one eye. And that was hard. That was very hard, but it's again the dedication, putting time aside for something that's really important. And to me, Panorama is very important. So I'm willing to put in that dedication and that time to something like this. The pressure, it can get a lot, like I said, when you're juggling different things in your life. Not everybody can make it every week, so it's taking on that leadership role, I guess, as well, to make sure, you know, if someone hasn't got the music, making sure like you can help them as well. So as well as learning for myself, I try and hold on to the notes as well for others so I can support others, and yeah.
Crazy because it's constantly 5 days a week, 5 to 11, sometimes even a bit earlier if you're lucky. But it's just constant, and juggling with outside of work and other commitments. It's hard to get here at 5 o'clock sometimes. Sometimes you've got life, you know what I mean? But it's worth it, it's the grind. It's the grind. The grind, the W. You know what I mean? If you have to be realistic with yourself, you might not really be here 5 days a week. But if you're going to be here 5 days a week, you're not going to be here at 5 all the time. Like, that's just life when you do things. But me personally, I try to get as much as I can, as soon as I can. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I've got friends to see, family to see, things to do. But when it comes to August, and it's that day, it's all worth it.
Crunch time.
I need that. Crunch time. And the grind's worth it. Every time. Every year. I say the same thing. Come pick up your sticks. Let's play.
So can we go from the bump? Yeah, and then we're going to go into this new bit that we've just been doing. Yeah, into the bit we've just been doing. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. Giving me thunder, yeah? Going from there. Bum, ba-dum, bum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I hearing no guitars, no cellos? Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. I mean, I want to sit down and sleep too. You look kind of like you're the only people doing work. What the hell am I doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So obviously on the road to Panorama, it's a lot, like we're all here at the end of the day because we love Pan, and Chris has brought that love of Pan to our lives. So that is why you will see us here every day, July, August. It's a lot, I won't lie. I think, yeah, battling that sort of, it's just exhaustion with, you know, work, you know, life, family, all other commitments. It is a lot, but I feel like, kind of like what Aaron said, that time you have when you perform and you're on stage, you forget all of that. Like every single year, I get ill, I get like just overwhelmed, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, am I gonna learn this song in time? Am I even gonna make it? But it's all worth it, and like I feel like you just forget all of that once you perform because it's just so magical.
Yeah, that stop still sounds really. I thought it sounded a little bit better today. Cellos and guitars. Yeah, it sounds still a bit muffled. Yeah? Yeah, those important lines. I don't want people to go, what's that? What's that? Yeah? So really, those kind of lines really need to be pushed out. When you go, that's it.
Yeah, so physically, I find the physical aspect easier actually. So of course it's tiring because you're coming to practice every day and you're standing up for long hours. But I mean, because I've been playing for Pan for a long time, my wrists are fine. So it's a little bit tiring, but actually I have quite a busy job normally, and I go to the gym, so I find that okay. But mentally, I think that's harder because you're learning a lot of music, you're practicing it, you're trying to perfect it. And then also, I think, I can't speak for everybody, but as I've got older, I think I'm more self-reflective. So I'm very aware of, you know, parts that I find harder or parts that I need to practice more. And then sometimes if I feel I haven't got a particular part of music, I can get into my own head and start to think I can't do this. But I think that's where having the long practice sessions works really well, because if you come at 5, we're not drilling as a band or a section, so you can just come in, have some quiet time and practice those bits that you find tricky, and then when you can play them, your confidence goes up again. But I think, yeah, mentally it's quite taxing. Physically, yeah, you get tired, but yeah, not as bad.
With the tenors. Yeah? Yeah? Try again. 1, 2, 3. On the percussion. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. So, just be aware of that, yeah? Yes. So, on the start, last time round. Can we go from that chorus? Yeah. Yeah? Da 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 bum ba da bum bum ba da bum. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, out.
So for me, I'm quite lucky because I'm an assistant head teacher, so I work in a school. So in one way, it's great because if I was having my normal job and coming to practice every night, I'm not sure if I could do it. Just not so much the physical again. I just think my work is quite draining and it takes a lot of mental power. So having to learn the music and manage the section, I think it would be a lot. So in one sense it's good because my mind is kind of free of work to focus on the music, but then in another way, it's my holiday. So like I went on holiday for a week and now I'm here, but to people that don't play pan, they think, oh, it's crazy, you go to practice pan every day for your whole summer. But I think that just shows like the love and passion we have for pan, because not only do I do it, I actually love it. And like when it's done, we have something called Carnival to Banker. So when you don't come to the pan yard anymore, you like feel sad because it's you're playing music you love. Like I love Chris, I've known Chris since I was 12, and you're with people that you love, like Pan Nation, we're a family. So it is a sacrifice, but it's one that I'm happy to make.
Okay, so can you go? So this is the bit that goes. There's 3 chords you're playing, yeah? I think it's guitar D and G, the E A, and the F sharp B. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so you're gonna go ba 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 ja 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 ja. We will be the first North London steel band to ever win Panorama, if that ever happens. Exactly, it's going to happen. Sorry, let me take that out of the universe, right? We are going to be the first North London band to win Panorama. Right? Full stop. Well, we've got, let's not be complacent now. I know we finished the tune. This is the earliest we've ever finished any Panorama tune. It's the hardest one we've ever done. If we look at Iron Love, I think we finished it 2 days before Panorama. Like it was on, I mean, if you listen to Iron Love to this, it's chalk and cheese. It's a total different vibe, total different skill set and level of intensity and arrangement and difficulty. So, guys, let's do this now. Section leaders, let's get the music out. Let's make sure it's correct. Let's support each other. I don't want anyone ducked this year. Yeah, I don't. I want to go out with a full team. Yeah, the same people that came in here for week 1, I want them to still be here. So we make sure we help everyone as much as we can. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. I'm not going to say there might be a few tweaks later on down the line. I'm not going to lie. But nothing, all the hard stuff is out, alright? If I'm going to do anything that's going to mess you up, I'll do it way before. But this is the song, this is the hits for now, alright? So let's get this music out, alright?